Hello, welcome to episode 9 of the Yank and Kiwi podcast. Yes, we've made it to episode 9, guys. Well, you know me. I'm one of your hosts, Brett, the handsome and charismatic one. Sam, the funny one who never shuts up and does not have a receding hairline unlike yours truly, unfortunately is not here with us this week. All I can say is that he has taken a leave of absence for an unspecified amount of time. His reasons are his own, and I hope he is back sooner rather than later. But until such time, we'll continue to soldier on without him. But I think he's here with us in spirit. And if you want to come on the podcast and be a guest, the door is always open to guests. Just hit us up at yankandkiwi@gmail.com or hit me up on Twitter at Brett1106. Again, that is Brett1106 on Twitter. And for email, yankandkiwi@gmail.com. I could say you could hit me up on YouTube, but unfortunately YouTube's messaging system is completely foobar at this time. Yeah. So, how are we gonna do this without Sam? Well, this can help me be good for me, because there actually are a few things I do sort of want to get off my chest. But I guess before I get into those proper, should talk about what I've been watching, listening, reading, etc. Just basically doing in the week since the last episode. So, well, obviously, in preparation for what was supposed to be this week's episode, I was going through Nirvana's discography, which is short. I mean, if you count the MTV Unplugged album, it's basically just 4 albums altogether. That's not a lot. The John Mayer episode we did, what was it, episode 3, I think? Yeah, it was episode 3, I believe. That was like 9 albums. Yeah. I mean, is anyone else kind of amazed that a band recorded only 4 albums, basically, and they've had such an impact, they've been so influential, but we're still feeling it today? I mean, Sex Pistols, they only have 1 album, and they're super influential. I'm not kidding. The only album the Sex Pistols ever recorded in a studio was Nevermind the Bollocks. That is the only Sex Pistols album to have ever been recorded. Not counting any live albums they did, or any solo work that any of the members did, or any side projects. There's just only been 1 entire Sex Pistols album ever recorded, and yet their impact has been so monumental. It's like, it's inescapable. You can't think of punk rock without the Sex Pistols, and you can't think of alternative rock without Nirvana. They're just inseparable. I mean, that's kind of amazing. I mean, a lot of this you could kind of put down to the fact that these were bands that were just in the right place at the right time. And I guess you would be correct in that. But more to the point, with Nirvana, you know, I know Sam and I have spent a lot of time bashing Nirvana, but honestly, going back, a lot of the music isn't as bad as the impression I've been giving. I mean, obviously, I don't think I can say Nirvana's for everybody. I mean, if you like your music more technically proficient, more polished, you're not gonna like Nirvana. And if you have issues with Kurt Cobain, which are completely legitimate, the guy, let's face it, not to put too fine a point on it, the guy was a wreck. He was a wreck of a human being. and no one in their right mind should want to be like Kurt Cobain. But yeah, if you cannot get past any of that, you are gonna hate Nirvana. Although, they gave us Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters, so can't be all bad, right? Wow. What else have I been doing? Netflix, I recently started watching second season of F is for Family. You guys know me, big Bill Burr fan. Wow. Flubbed that one up tonight. Yes, massive Bill Burr fan here. I loved the first season of F is for Family, even though parts of it hit very close to home for me. And I think if that didn't bother you the first time around, I don't see why it's going to bother you now. Although, I'm going to say, like, F is for Family is basically what Family Guy should be. It's a show about a dysfunctional family, but it's very raw, it's very honest. In fact, it's brutally honest, I would say, like, almost too honest for its own good. Like, it's gonna be so real, it's gonna, in some cases, hit so close to home, like, it's uncomfortable to watch in places. Which, obviously, that's intentional. The show is about a dysfunctional family and how they really would be. And I think the fact that it's animated makes it a little more palatable, shall we say. But still, like, it's just so uncompromising in how brutally honest it is that if you can't handle it, this show is likely going to turn you off. It doesn't pull any punches, guys, so I want you to keep that in mind if you're going to watch F is for Family. I would recommend it, especially if you're a Bill Burr fan like I am, but like I said, do not expect it to handle you with kid gloves. This show is mean. Not mean-spirited, just mean. So, yeah, that's out of the way. So what's next? Well, I guess I can just move on to talking about what was on my mind. And things I've been wanting to get off my chest. Well, first off, I learned that Marvel's going to be publishing a new Runaways book. And I'm going to be honest, I am feeling very, how do I put it, cautious about it. Like, I have very good reason to not expect this to be good. A lot of it having to do with the state of Marvel's current stuff. How they seem to be completely disregarding the audience that built them, and are instead pandering to a social justice crowd that wouldn't have any interest in these books to begin with, while at the same time basically using the comics as kind of a laboratory to test to see what they can get away with for the movies. And the thing about Runaways that makes me worried, that's setting off my mental red alert, is the person who's behind it. It's a woman by the name of... Shit you not, this is her actual name, guys. Rainbow Rowell. I think that's how it's pronounced. Rainbow Rowell. Now, I know you're not supposed to judge a person by their name, but guys, anyone with those unique names, at least 9 times out of 10, they're guaranteed to be a social justice warrior. But, you know what? Let's take a look at her previous work. Maybe she'll surprise us. So, Eleanor and Park, young adult novel. Follows dual narratives by Eleanor and Park, two misfits living in Omaha, Nebraska. Wow. Eleanor, full-figured 16-year-old girl with curly red hair, and Park, a half-Korean 16-year-old boy. Meet on a school bus on Eleanor's first day at the school and gradually connect through comic books and mixtapes of 80s music sparking a love story. Okay. Seems pretty innocuous. What is the deal with escape, domestic abuse, child abuse, bullying, body image? Oh boy, it's one of those, isn't it? Alright. But, okay, this one seems pretty, actually, all things considered, this is actually pretty normal stuff for young adult novels. I mean, it's probably done well for what it is, but it's nothing you haven't already come across. I mean, fuck. I remember reading Whale Talk in 9th grade. Look that up. Alright, let's look at another one. Fangirl. Sequel to Eleanor and Park, I think. I think that's what it says right now. Publication follows Rawls' previous young adult novel. Oh, maybe I'm getting this wrong. Kath is a freshman at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, along with her much more outgoing identical twin sister, Ren. But Kath is having a hard time adjusting to college, first because Ren doesn't want to room with her, and second because of her social anxiety disorder. Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for what she writes. She writes about characters that are either super eccentric, super damaged, some combination of the two. You know, this is starting to feel very typical young adult stuff. Oh, Carry On. Let's see. Story follows the final year of magical schooling for Simon Snow, the chosen one of the magical world prophesied to defeat the insidious humdrum and evil force that has been wreaking havoc on the world of mages for years. Novels toured through several narrative voices, including Simon, his roommate/enemy, and later boyfriend Baz, his best friend Penelope, and his girlfriend Agatha. Oh my god, this sounds like it was supposed to be a Harry Potter fanfiction. How did this get published? Oh wait, don't answer that. We live in the same world where 50 Shades of Grey can begin life as a Twilight fanfiction and become a bestseller. Motherfucker. Really? I mean, seriously, how does this not sound like it's supposed to be a Harry Potter fanfic? So, yeah. Look, this is what makes me worried. And also, like I said, especially with Marvel's current quality of book, this just makes me think it is going to be so fucking pandering. And the reason why I am so disheartened at this news is because Runaways is a comic book that is very near and dear to my heart. It was one of the first comics I read when I was a young man. My high school library had like the first 4 novels in our school library, and I went through all of them. That book had such an impact at me. In fact, the original Brian K. Vaughan run, you could not find a better crash course in how to write teenage characters. It's just so perfect. The Joss Whedon stuff, I mean, he knows what he's doing, but it just doesn't come up to the same level that Brian K. Vaughan did. Never had the same emotional gut punches like Vaughn's stuff did. And, oh man. I mean, I know Marvel has sort of been basically paying us all lip service just for years already, so why should I expect anything different? Oh man. Gotta say, this kind of hurts. Because like I said, that book that book had a real impact on me, made me want to like comic books again, along with Sandman. And given what Rainbow Rowell's... Jesus Christ, I still can't believe I'm saying that name outright. Given Rainbow Rowell's previous body of work and the current state of Marvel Comics, I do not have high hopes for this at all. And I mean, I've even looked at the art. I mean, it's not bad art, but oh my god, it looks like they hired a total amateur for this. Seems like the quality of their artwork is going down along with their writing as well. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm getting off my chest. What's next? Well, this is something I've wanted to go on a rant in more detail, which also deals with political correctness, social justice, that kind of crap. But it deals with Funimation. Now, you guys probably remember that earlier I cut an open letter to Funimation about how I disagree with the current direction the company has taken. How they don't seem to be keeping a rein on their employees like they should. How it's affecting the quality of their product. And how, unlike Marvel, they really cannot afford to be losing customers. I mean, they are a profitable company, but they're also a smaller one as compared to Marvel. They're not propped up by a multi-billion-dollar company like Disney. They are essentially on their own. But more to the point, it's just how they seem to have this idea that they can insert politically correct speech into anime. Now, you may be wondering, how is that a big deal? Well, the thing is, you have to put all this stuff in its context. Anime comes from Japan, and the context of Japan is political incorrectness run amok. It is Canada on opposite day. Mono-ethnic, monocultural, and about as politically incorrect as you can get. In fact, pretty sure if you asked a Japanese person about political correctness, the only response you could get out of them at best would be, "What is political correctness?" Oh boy, I know I'm gonna piss off somebody for that. Well, if I got called a racist, I can add that to another list of achievements. But yeah, basically Japan, they are a country that has hardly any idea of what political correctness is. Because, and I have this on good authority from a guy who's actually been to Japan, the lens that your average Japanese person views foreigners through, and I mean not just Americans, I mean any non-Japanese person, the average lens they view foreigners through is through media and pop culture. In other words, their idea of what an American is basically based off stereotypes. How do I put this in? To put this in a way anime fans will get, if your entire idea of what a Japanese person is like is based on anime, then you've got the same idea of what a Japanese person's idea of an American is like. If that makes any sense. That's how they view non-Japanese people. They view them all through this lens of pop culture and media. It's all based on stereotypes. That's not to say that anime cannot have nuanced and complex non-Japanese characters. I have seen Cowboy Bebop. That's like the best example. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying this is sort of the attitude the average Japanese person has. Because the average Japanese person has no interest in the world outside Japan. Almost none of them leave Japan. Almost none of them speak a language other than Japanese. And if I'm being honest, there actually is a little bit of racism in Japan. I'm not kidding. You can actually find footage of rallies in Japan where they are shouting in English, "White pig, go home." That is actually real, guys. You can actually find this stuff. I shit you not. But yeah, this is the country anime is coming from. So how does Funimation think they can put politically correct speech into something like this? I mean, I'm not going to get hung up on the Gamergate example because that one got burned in effigy as it should have. And I've also learned in the intervening time since I put up that original video that that line was changed for the home release. So, I guess they kind of learned their lesson. But the thing that makes me doubt that is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Now, on the off chance you have not seen my review of it, the dub included lines like, "It's cultural appropriation without any culture," "Don't slut shame me," and "Those patriarchal societal demands were getting on my nerves." That last one is especially egregious because of whose mouth it came from. Now, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid's dub was written by Jamie Marchi. You can look this up. She is credited as the dub scriptwriter for that anime. And I just want you to keep one thing in mind. Jamie Marchi has been in the business for over 20 years. She is supposed to be a professional. So, that pesky patriarchal line, why is that such an egregious example, you might ask? Well, here's the thing. You have to look at the context that scene happened in the original Japanese too. Now, this came from Lukoa, who is Quetzalcoatl, but turned into a blonde, extremely large-breasted moe chick. If you look up the mangaka's previous work, it makes more sense. But yeah, I digress. Jamie Marchi does her voice in the English dub. Now, in the original Japanese, Lukoa said that the reason she was... Oh, wait, I gotta remember. In that scene, in most of the show, Lukoa tends to dress very skimpy. Shows off a lot of skin. In that scene, she's a lot more covered up. Now, why? In the original Japanese, she says, "Oh, it's turning into winter and I didn't want to be cold." Yeah, well, to anyone with functioning neocortex, that makes perfect sense, of course. Yeah, it's winter. It's cold. You're gonna dress more warmly. Who wouldn't do that, alright? In the dub, her response is, "Oh, those pesky patriarchal societal demands were getting on my nerves." Face palming right there. It's just a full fucking face palm. Yeah. Considering that that's Lukoa's mouth it came from, and Jamie... Oh my god. Oh man, fuck. Oh, fucking hell. Let me put it this way. Have you guys ever been on Jamie Marchi's Twitter page? Ugh. It's like Thunderdome for the most pablum turd-wave feminist dogma. Oh my god. And she's gonna make that come from Lukoa? Oh, wait. I forget. It's 2017, Brett. large breasts are empowering to women. Oh, if that's the case, considering that FUNimation also decided to license Seven Mortal Sins, which is basically a hentai minus the sex scenes. Hey, FUNimation, why don't you just give up the ghost and start licensing actual hentai? Okay? I'm not saying you guys should go and be full-on smut peddlers, but what I am saying is, a lot of people would pay money to hear Jamie Markey yell, "Do me harder! More deep! Ah!" They would! They fucking would, man. They would. I mean, come on, Jamie. You're a feminist. Pornography is supposed to be empowering to women. Wait, you are a sex-positive feminist, right? It's so confusing with all the sex-positive feminism and sex-negative feminism. It's hard to tell, man. I mean, like, what's the true flavor of feminism this year? I know. Oh, man. Now, there's a comedy routine right there, which, motherfucker, I can't believe I forgot. Yeah. You haven't seen it already? Uploaded a video of me performing on Newtown Tuesday at Tacoma Comedy Club. Rousing success, got laughs and cries for an encore. And I was a conservative making jokes about suicide and how I prefer Rodrigo Duterte's drug policy to Ed Murray's. So, this motherfucker's got talent. I'm gonna try again to see if maybe I can get on one of their open mic nights. But yeah. I'll let you guys know how that turns out. Now, anything else on your mind, Brett? I don't know, other Brett. What else is on my mind? Oh! I can think of one. That new Wonder Woman movie, it's getting a lot of praise. And, well, let me put it this way. My interest has been piqued just to know that the fact that Gal Gadot, the actress playing Wonder Woman, is Israeli, is pissing off, well, people of an Allahu Akbar persuasion. Was right then and there, I was thinking to myself, okay, now I want to see Wonder Woman. And I've never been that big into Wonder Woman. I've never really liked the idea of the character, but who knows? Maybe this just might get me to warm up to her. Oh, yeah. I guess if I'm gonna leave off here, here's a little thing for you guys. It just came to my attention that WWE is going to be doing an NXT event up in Seattle on July 14th. I'm going to be going there with a friend or two. If you guys are there, let me know. That'd be pretty awesome. It's at the Paramount Theater. Tickets are, I think, a little over $50. It's a small venue. The NXT always plays small venues, so the seats are always cheap. But yeah, we can hang out, watch some pro wrestling, have a good old time. And if you guys want to come on the podcast, hit me up at yankandkiwi@gmail.com or on Twitter at Brett1106. And let's hope Sam comes back sooner or later. Sorry, this was a bit on the shorter end. I'm a bit too on the laconic side. I can't keep on talking for hours without shutting the fuck up like Sam. But yeah. Hopefully he will be back next week. See ya.